Hey guys, what is up? Unrested back. I'm doing a bit of a weird sort of video today. I'm doing the history of Chibi manga slash anime. If you don't know, Chibi is pretty much a shortened version of the word chibiru, which means to kind of like wear down or to file down, like as if you took a stick and started to slowly whittle down the tip until it was much smaller. It pretty much means taking something that is elongated and slowly making a more compact, smaller version of it. It got most popular in the 1980s with it first appearing in places like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Gundam. And we're going to get into not only how the expression of chibi started, how it's used, what it's used in, and how you yourself can learn how to draw it. It's actually a lot easier than learning how to draw regular anime. So let's go ahead and dive into that today. As you can see, I've got my research lined up here of how to spell chibi, hiragana, the kanji involved in chibiru, the katakana involved in chibikaru, and the other names you may know chibi by, such as Dihome, also SD, which is super Dihome. But we're going to talk a little bit about each of the words. Chibi, which was first, like I said, popularized in the 1980s, but it is said that there is notes of it being created as early as the 1300s in Japan. You can see the kanji here for chibiru, which means to wear down or worn down. Another name you may see pop up is chibi kara, that simply just means chibi character. And the last but not least, something you may see when it comes to Gundam is Dihome or SD, Super Dihome, which means usually it's been squeezed down into a size that's only 2 heads to 3 heads tall for a Gundam, which tends to be a massive robot. You can see my own little drawings here of me practicing the different forms and all the different expressions. We're going to talk a little bit more about that now. So the core concepts of chibi style are simplification and exaggeration. You can also think of chibis as sort of an emoticon for stories. That's how they're often used, to punctuate scenes with a real emotional emphasis. You'll often see them used when displaying mascots in Japan, maybe when doing sort of a slapstick take, maybe an awkward eye contact in a show, and it's used to create sort of a dramatic body language. You can see here, I've shown that the chibi kara, this is a version of me in chibi kara, and it is showing the 3 head size tall body. There is other sizes. I think there's some that go as far as 5. The regular anime size, you're usually looking at 7 to 8 heads tall. Let's move on. Okay, profile. We've got front profile, all right, front profile, and then 1/4 profile. To do these, we're going to talk about moving on to adding a circle first, and then breaking the circle down into 4 sections that will allow you to draw both of these styles. Okay, so my board has been used all day, so it's super dirty, but bear with me, okay? We're going to start with the simplest way I know how, and that is with a circle. Sort of a more kind of easy circle, okay? Let your arm just go out with it. This is just your underdrawing. You've probably seen before, a lot of underdrawings start with blue pencil. A lot of manga artists, a lot of anime artists start with that blue pencil. The reason being is because they can go back over it in ink, and when it's put through a photocopier, the blue disappears. All right, now you're breaking it up. You're breaking it up. Halfway horizontal, halfway vertical. All right? You got one line here, one line here. Letter C. If you can do the letter C, right? Like this. If you can do that letter C, C, C. Still go really loose with these, okay? Don't worry too much about definition or it being perfect. C, right? You can do like this kind of C. All right, facing down, C. All right? There you go. You've got your basis. This is your underdrawing. All right? You can add a little bit more by making it have a bit of cheeks here. All right? That kind of squishes the shape more, gives it less of a round shape. Erase that bottom there and kind of connect those cheeks, right? This gives it more of a base, right? Okay? Probably right here is going to be a point for where you want to add the hair together, this could be fine whether it's a boy or a girl character. And I'll show you how to quickly change that if you want to, okay? Boy character, let's just go with one more line here. Really simple sort of triangle shape for the nose. You got to go as subtle as possible with the nose, all right? There you go. All right. Add some big circles for the eyes. Those take up almost the whole eye. All right, go big with those. Super big. All right, make another circle inside. Right, as big as you want, you're fine. All right. For hair, don't be afraid to go beyond the size of the head. One of the big mistakes I see people do is they try to fit the hair inside of this circle. Your hair doesn't fit inside of your head. It goes outside of the realm of your head, the frame of your head. All right, so let's give ourselves that room. Here we go. Right? And then if we want to give it the same haircut as me, give it that sort of chomage at the top. Chomage is that thing you see like sumo wrestlers or samurai have. Chomage. Right? There we go. Now, if you wanted to make this look more girly and less masculine, well, first of all, very light eyebrows for girls. All right? Add the eyelashes. All right, let's take this away. Take away one ear, okay? All right, then maybe, and there you go, very simply changed. And that is the most basic chibi face you can do. 3 of these heads are gonna make the full body. All right, like I said, 3 heads tall. You can see I've got the underdrawing to show you 1, 2, 3. That is the full size. And I've used a massive piece of paper to show you this. And I've broken it down into basic shapes. That head shape that you're going to be dividing horizontally and vertically is more of an egg, sort of circular egg shape, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. The middle torso area is just an upside down U. If you want to make it as simplistic as possible, you can see in the underdrawing here, it is literally just an upside down U. Finally, if you can do a W that looks like this, you can draw the legs. I've made a lot harder corners here and added some more definition, but you can see in my underdrawing again, it's a W shape, all right? Now, what we're gonna do is break down one more way to draw a head and then go into some disciplines used for different types of hands. Okay, back to my very dirty board. Okay, once again, you're gonna just start with the same shape. This is the best thing about Chibi, is it just uses the same shapes over and over and over again. That sort of egg shape. Or you can do a circle too. I prefer the sort of egg sideways. All right, here we go, we got it, all right? Maybe a little more up here, yeah, there we go. That's looking good. All right, again, you're gonna split it up. This time though, with the line going this way, curve it out to the side. We're going for the 1/4 or quarter profile view. Bring that cheek out, give it a gigantic forehead. I'm gonna have to move my 1/4 out of the way, all right? Super big forehead. And come back to here. All right, foreheads are huge when you go 1/4. All right, bring it back around. And only one ear since we're doing 1/4 turn. You're using that same C shape that I taught you earlier. Let's get rid of some of my underdrawing, okay? And guess what? All artists use this. We all use a lot of organic shapes to make underdrawings. So get yourself a really hard, sort of like F, maybe H pencil to do these. All right, you've got your basic shape going on. I'll get that one out of here too. We're looking good. Now, you're gonna add those C's again for the eyes. One's gonna be a little bit smaller though. This one's gonna be a little bit more squished, all right? You're gonna squish the one that's next to the cheek over here and make the other one the regular size you did before. All right, again, very subtle, all right? Very subtle. You don't know what you wanna do yet. This gives you a blank slate to create whatever kind of character you want, all right? We're gonna add the hair. I guess I can keep that C there. We'll keep it. All right. We're going to take off the ear because this is going to cover up the back. All right. And there you go. All right. Now, like I said, there's a couple subtle things you can do to make it more female looking or more feminine. Remember I said you add those eyelashes. Make sure the eyebrows are very subtle. Gigantic eyes, the bigger the eyes, the better. All right. If you can do a smushed sort of M, like this, a smushed M, it's perfect for the lips. You can even put a little one under there. Right? You can give her a little bit of blush, right? It comes out pretty good. And this has got her turned sideways. Like I said, double circles, right? Now, let's talk about adding a little bit of emotion. It's so simple to add emotion to these. Get rid of that mouth, all right? We've got these eyes. We want to make it sad. There you go. Simple, right? We want to make it surprised. Surprise is going to use less definition. Take away these big eyes. Surprised. Angry is going to use the most. All right, and maybe you want to add a little bit of, right? Because that's what Chibis do. They add extreme sort of slapstick emotion. Very simple to alter this 1/4 or quarter turn profile face. Now, before we go for the whole body, I want to do hands, and I want to start you with the most basic, all right? You can literally just do a thumb and a sort of mitten type hand, most basic. Next basic, go for this sort of tulip look on the hand. It has only 4 fingers, it's not fully articulate, there's no joints or knuckles to bend, but it's got just enough to let us know if there was making a sign with the hand or a pointing with the hand. Next up, you kind of connect or merge some of the hands. I'd say this is a basic finger hand. Again, there's only 4 fingers, and of course you can go for the most complex articulate finger hand. And this goes through all of these, adds everything, a thumb, joints, and can allow you to fully express the character a lot better. I'm going to show you a very simple way to do hands. Okay, one of the biggest mistakes I see is people just trying to draw the hand without doing any underdrawing whatsoever. That's going to make it impossible, especially if you have really, really articulate hands you want to draw. Let's just start with the basics first, okay? You can do some of the ones I just showed you, all right? It's a very, very organic shape. I think most of you can probably handle that. There's even the Chibi with the ball hand. I'm sure you've seen this before. But what I want to do is I want to get into the more complicated ones. You've got your arm. Diamonds. Diamonds are the shape you want to use to make an articulate hand. And this is where I see people really, really go out of their way to try and make it more curvy, more kind of like hot dog-ish, which your hands are really not hot dog shape. They're actually very, very hard joints that can make exact 45 degree and 90 degree angles perfectly. And to do that, you need to start with something that has those kind of angles, a more angular, rhombus, diamond-esque type of shape. And let me show you why. Your thumb comes up here. I always see people do a hand and they try to put the thumb like this. Your thumb does not line up the same way the rest of your fingers do. If you're doing this, you're messing up. Your thumb really jets out, right? It really, really juts out a lot more than the rest. Then, that's it. You've got yourself a hand. Take that underdrawing away. You're looking much better, all right? Now, let's do the full 5-finger hand. You are gonna have to go longer with the fingers when you make more articulation, obviously, because there's more joints. Right? We got our diamond shape again. You see how I gave yourself a stop for the end of the diamond, little nubs where the fingers will start. This will help you better understand where the joints go. Now, you'll see they slowly descend in an order of curvature. That's a pretty natural grip. In fact, if you wanted to make something held in the hand, watch how easily it is to turn this into a fist. Take away all these. Back to the diamond, and then just close it up. Right? You've got yourself a fist, and it still sticks to the diamond shape. Start your hands when you want to have a lot of articulation and a lot of fingers with a diamond. Let's take all the lessons we learned, let's put them all together, and let's try to draw a full-figured, 3-head tall chibi character. Draw it along with me. Get yourself some blank paper. Okay guys, this is it. We're using everything we've learned so far, starting first with the size, 3 heads tall. 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. This one looks a little wider. It's okay. From here to here, it's the same. Here to here, same. That's the most important part. Don't worry about how wide it goes out. All right, now let's use those basic shapes. As I told you before, we're gonna go over top using a different color so we know what to erase. We've got the head first. Tamago, egg shape. Tamago no katachi, egg shape. All right, U shape, upside down U. Don't be afraid to go a little bit smaller with the U. The head can never be too big when it comes to chibi. You can go gigantic with that head, so make the U smaller. If you're coming out to here and here, they don't have any shoulders really, so don't do that. And the W. All right, we've got our basic shape. Kind of like an Among Us character, I suppose, is the closest shape you may know in the US. All right, let's erase our underdraw. And now we got to do arms, which I don't really have a great shape to relate it to aside from maybe like a teardrop. And we can go more articulate later. I'll do the same thing with the feet too. I'll make them more defined as well. First, let's do that head. All right. We got that. hands, let's go more defined. I'm gonna take those nubs off. Let's make them into fists. Your thumbs will always face inward when you have the palms out. So there you go, fists. And we'll connect it to a shirt. So we'll give it a little bit more definition. Let's get those feet fixed up a little bit too. Take off the nubs. And for feet, you can kind of flare it out, bell bottom it out, triangle forward, kind of the best way to do. A foot facing forward, triangle outward. All right, like that. If it goes a little bit below here, I think you can still understand. I just don't have a lot more room to keep going. Right? Then we can get into some definition with the face. Get that underdrawing out. There you go. Using everything put together to get you your very own first chibi drawing. Let me know how it goes. If you have a place that you post it, please show it to me, and I'd love to see how your progress goes as far as you trying out your own chibis. Until next time, I've been Unrested. I hope you enjoyed this video, learning how to draw manga and anime chibi. I hope you like this kind of lesson. It's my first time trying this. If you do, let me know in the comments below. It'll really change whether I do more of these or less of these. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. I'll be back to my normal JFAC next week. You guys have a great rest of the weekend.